Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Now, I know as an entrepreneur, your days can look different.
Yeah.
But I do love a morning routine, so I need to know what is the new 2.0 Chloe morning routine.
Okay, so I wake up.
What time?
It's 6:30.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not 6:30. I'm not going to say that I'm always up at 6:30 because on my vision board it says 6:30. And that's what I've been working towards. So for the most part, I get up at 6:30. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 7:30.
Great.
Yeah, wake up, then I do my skincare.
Okay.
Love my skincare routine.
What's the step? Like I'm like details. I need to know all the details.
Oh, goodness.
Like are we like a cleanse, a serum, eye cream?
Yeah, all of it.
All right.
Yeah, all of it. And then I drink a liter of water because I know how important it is to drink water in the morning. I should be eating my breakfast before my coffee, but I don't.
Okay.
So then I have my coffee and I go and I sit on my desk and the first thing that I do is I'll do a 5-minute meditation.
You have that?
Yep.
Do you use an app?
I use Spotify.
Okay.
Yep. So I do that, and while I'm doing that, like I'm incorporating deep breathing. And then afterwards I'll journal. So sometimes I'll have like journal prompts and sometimes I'll just write what I'm feeling, like basically what I'm going through or what's going on in my mind. It's essentially like a brain dump.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Good old like monkey mind.
Yes. So then I'll do that and then I'll read a couple pages of a book. So
what are you currently reading?
So I'm reading like a lot of different books. Like
Okay.
I like little nuggets of different ones. So what's it called? Oh, The Awakening.
Oh, okay. Okay. Coming back from your solo retreat. That's very aligned.
Yeah. And like it's all new. It's all like new world to me right now. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of like easing myself into it, like learning more about consciousness and your unconscious and
And are your moments of reading in the morning typically like personal development focused?
I don't read anything other than personal development. I'm obsessed with personal development.
So am I. You're talking to the right audience. Very aligned.
Yeah, like I mean, some people really enjoy watching or reading like fantasy books or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. Like I want all the information to come to me. Like I need to learn. I want the gold nuggets. Like I want to learn more so I can pour more into my people.
Yeah.
That's just how my brain works.
I'm the same as you, other than when Matt and I take a vacation, then it's like this weird, beautiful reward, how I get a smut book.
What's a smut book?
It's just like a chick lit. Just like girly read about like she likes him and he likes her, but then there's something in the middle. And it's just a book that it's so light and fluffy, pairs great with a beach chair.
Yeah, got you.
And being horizontal.
Cool.
Maybe a glass of rosé.
Love that.
That's sort of the setting. So I read like maybe 1 to 2 of those a year. If there's a vacation that's not a mastermind or a self-development business event.
What's the name of it that you would read?
I love Emily Giffin.
Emily Giffin.
And so she writes ones that's like baby proof. There's like the wedding ones with like 2 girls. I'll give you a whole list for when you take a vacation and you want a girly read.
Yeah.
They're great.
Cool.
But otherwise, I am right there with you with the personal development books. I'm obsessed.
Have you read any like entrepreneur ones that you love?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just finished one by I love Robin Sharma.
Oh my God.
Love Robin Sharma.
So my mom just read one, the Ferrari one.
Oh, yeah.
And she told me to go buy it. So I bought it. It's sitting on my desk, but I just like get kind of obsessed with books.
Have you read Robin Sharma before?
No.
I would actually start with The Greatness Guide 1 and 2.
Okay.
They are perfect for morning rituals because they are broken down into like little lessons that are 1 to 4 pages each. So you can read 1, you could read 4, that it's just like little lessons, and he is such a wise soul.
That's what my mom said.
So I would start with Greatness Guide 1 and 2.
Okay.
Super easy to read. And then you can get into the rest of his books, like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, which your mom is loving.
She did, yeah.
And it's on your nightstand. And I just finished The Wealth That Money Can't Buy, and that was really great.
Yeah?
It's like a money book, but not about money. It's understanding the wealth of your health and community, relationships, all of these other things that are in our life that we can pour into and nurture and work harder at. Like, and he's big on self-mastery.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from, moving your body and exercising your brain and really pouring into people. And I've heard in the last year, I've heard some really amazing keynote speakers at some of the events that we've attended that even talk about, walking through the airport, that so many of us live in, like, we live in an age of technology.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like when I was coming home, I was just looking around. I was like, every person here is on their phone.
And what opportunities are you missing because your head is buried in your phone looking at someone else's life versus having your heart open, shoulders back, eyes sparkling and open and available for connection.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we as humans need. And you probably even have a different relationship with this being an online coach, that your business is you wherever you want to be, in your home office, if you want to be in Palm Springs, that you can work and connect with your community wherever you are.
Yeah.
Versus someone like myself that is brick and mortar, and we both happen to be fitness communities, that we have a 5,000 square foot space where we get to interact with people and build community.
Yeah.
But it's still community.
It's still community. Absolutely. And it's a lot harder to build a community when it's online. And growing up, like I've always kind of been like a leader, but also kind of found that like I was like kind of different in a sense. And I was the one that would always bring people together, right? I can imagine that you probably were too.
That resonates. I was like, yes, agreeable, yes.
And so I've just always longed for community. So when I was doing some nursing work, I didn't feel like I fit in at all. And I felt really uncomfortable. Like I just didn't vibe the same way that I knew that I would want to vibe. Like I just didn't feel like super connected. So throughout my journey of, with my business, community has been so important to me. It's been massive. And I guess like my ability to deeply connect with each client, they feel connected, they feel seen. That's massive, especially being an online coach or an online client. And then also me going through the experience of moving here and being alone and experiencing that and knowing how it feels. So I talk to these girls all the time. They're telling me they're so lonely, right? So I go above and beyond for my community with like challenges every month, like just trying to really connect my girls. And it's really good. It's amazing. I love the community aspect.
Okay. I want to stay on that topic for a second. And I want to literally go through what you coming here, not having anyone in person for community. What did you do to create that for yourself?
Okay, funny story.
I'm here for it. I love a funny story.
It was my 30th birthday and I was at Buvette and I had this cute little server and I was like, man, I think I could vibe with her.
And her name was Haley Burns.
Yes. And I was like, do you want to be friends?
Yeah, I love this.
And she was like, yeah, I do. And then she asked me to go to your event, inspiring women.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I saw that you had your girlfriend walk and I didn't have anybody to go with. And I was just like, I really want to do this. I don't want to go by myself. Like, should I do it? Should I not? Oh, my anxiety. Like, should I do it? And then I was like, I'm going to buy the ticket and then I have to go. So that's what I did. And I went, and within the first 5 minutes, I felt uncomfortable and I called my mom and stuff. And then afterwards, I felt so good. I felt supported. I was surrounded by a bunch of women that, welcomed me in. And I just remember seeing you in this magnetic blue outfit standing on
the counter.
On the counter. I was like, I want to be her. No, seriously, you're like such an inspiration to me.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah, you really are.
I vividly remember our DM exchange and you talking about getting the ticket and is it weird to come by myself? I was like, no, this is literally what these events are for.
Yeah.
And there's a solid percentage of women that come to a girlfriend walk event, whether it's in Burlington, Oakville, Scottsdale, Arizona, that people come by themselves.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of it is to cultivate community and connection. And you nailed it. And I remember seeing like before even like we took off for the walk, I was like, oh, Chloe already has a friend. This is amazing. She's already talking to someone. Because you also bring an energy. And I think this is actually a really powerful just conversation to get into, is the energy that you bring to events exactly like this and showing up by yourself, and that you clearly made the intentional choice to show up with good energy and play full out, that you've bought this ticket
Mm.
and, you know, that girlfriend walk ticket is a low ticket investment, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Versus like a full day event that's maybe $800 for a ticket.
Yep.
But you've invested money, so you've put skin in the game.
Yep.
And $35, sure, you could like say, actually, I'm just going to eat the $35. I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
But for others, they're like, no, I am getting all $35 worth and going. So you want to go and you want to play full out and want to show up. What did that look like for you? Did you have some mirror talk? Did you have self-talk?
I didn't even know what mirror talk was at that point. I wasn't with my coach.
Okay.
I can't really remember. I just remember being like, I need to walk the walk. Like I'm telling my clients all the time, I'm like, you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Me here like, ugh.
Growth comes from discomfort.
Yeah.
You girls can do this.
Yeah. So I was just like, all right, I need to do this. I need to embody this. So I just went for it. And it was just, I guess, an instinct within me. And I like your energy, I was drawn to that, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that even as a takeaway for all of you listening, that if that's something that you crave, that, you know, Chloe took the action to make the decision, take action on purchasing the ticket and putting the event in your calendar, and then showing up.
Which was hard.
Showing up's the hard part.
Yeah.
But you've made that hard decision.
Yeah.
And we can do hard things.
We can do hard things.
And then you had the whole evening, and that was what, 2 hours of your time?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was
and what
amazing.
did you gain from it?
I gained friendships.
Yeah.
Which I was looking for, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think fitness is another one where people can, if they're new to an area,
Absolutely,
is go to a gym or a studio, you know, whatever you vibe with. If you're spin, yoga, classic gym girlies, that's a great way, because it's also shared values.
Yep.
That people, I mean, we say this for Benchmark all the time. Everyone is coming to our walls with at least one of the same energies or purposes, that they want to be better in something.
Yeah.
They want to be more fit, or they want to be, 10 pounds lighter, whatever it may be. Everyone's goals are different, but they're all going to be rowing in the same direction.
Exactly.
For the most part.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. That's the same thing with my community. Like they have different, some want to build muscle, some want to lose body fat, but at the same time, like they're all coming together to work on themselves and better themselves and become more confident beings.
Now, first, I love that. I'm going to honor that before I before we switch topics. My brain's already, I'm like, I have another question. But when it comes to getting in the rooms, because obviously, well, I love this topic about networking and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, that is whether for, gaining community and friendship, or networking and expanding your business and just business relationships. You have now recently done that by going on a recent solo trip.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was.
I need to know all the details behind it, of how you started. Did you feel that, in your working with your coach, did you crave some solo time? Did you crave a retreat or a wellness event or a business event?
Yeah.
What was it that started sat in your heart?
So I think it was when I was just finishing up my 6 months with Chelsea, and I was debating doing another 6 months. And then I was seeing 11:11 everywhere. And
Woo.
Woo is right. So then I ended up seeing on Instagram this girl, Emily, and I saw that she was hosting a retreat. And I was like, oh my God, I would love this. This looks so good. I'm craving that. I feel like I'm at that point where I'm craving that solo time, where I've never ever felt like that, because I've never really, I guess in a way, like I said before, I didn't really trust myself enough, but I was actually craving it. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's at least apply. So I applied, and then I remember looking at my email, and it said that I was accepted. And I was like, oh my God, how do I tell my boyfriend?
I took this action without even talking about it.
Yeah. And then we talked it over, and he was okay with it. He was just a little bit worried about my safety and stuff, but we figured out where I was going to stay and everything. So I decided I wanted to go.
It wasn't in the woods with a bear.
No,
Okay,
no.
great.
Yeah. It was in the desert, next to
Perfect.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go a couple days early. So I went to Palm Springs, and
Love this.
it was so nice. It was beautiful.
I live for all of your content. All of your solo Palm Springs content was just amazing.
You could tell I was vibrating so high.
You were. But that's what's so cool to see. I think, especially when you know someone. I mean, social media is cool for that too, where you can feel like, oh, I feel like I'm really good friends with her. We've never met, but like I feel like we're buds.
Yeah.
But I do know you, and I could tell like, oh my God, Chloe is in such a happy place. She's exercising a new muscle.
Yep.
Literally, figuratively, however you want
Everything.
to cut it.
Yep.
That you are just sitting in this and really embodying this solo time and this magic of being by yourself.
Yeah, no, it was. That's like the word of it. It was just like magical. It was not one thing went wrong.
I love that.
Yeah, like I got to my hotel, they greeted me with a margarita, and the guy was so nice, and they had like a cat there, like a little cat that like lived at the hotel.
Perfect.
It was just really wholesome, and I took myself out for dinners, and yeah.
Was that your first time going out for dinner alone?
Yes.
How did you feel?
Amazing.
I mean, I know you and I were both actually on solo trips at that point, and we were messaging back and forth. I'm like, well, I'm in Vegas sitting at a bar by myself, or like at the bar of a restaurant, not a bar, just for clarification. Yeah. I'm not ready to do that. That doesn't really align with me.
No.
But sitting at a Bobby Flay restaurant, sitting at the bar by myself, you were out having a burger and something else, and we were sharing content back and forth. And I know for a lot of people, male or female, that would be really difficult.
Yeah.
But I think there is, for that first time, did you just feel?
I feel awesome. It was great. It was like, if I didn't go through my healing journey and getting to know myself and like doing that work, I probably wouldn't have done it, or maybe I would have ordered DoorDash or something. But I thought it was peaceful. I was just like, this is nice. Like,
did you take like your phone or a book?
I took a book and I took my phone.
Okay.
So I got content and I read a little bit and I people watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes as that solo traveler, it's like a magnet. At least it was in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm clearly trying to read my book here.
Yeah.
It's bright yellow.
Yeah.
It's the cover.
But you got energy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's such a cool thing, if even again as a takeaway for someone to maybe go in, like you could go in your own community, because you probably will know someone if you walk into the restaurant that you can make conversation with. Yeah. But I think there's something really powerful about doing it when you're traveling.
Absolutely. And bringing a book with you is really good.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, I'm just chilling here with my book. I'm good. Like, you know, like a lot of people think like, oh, it's going to be so embarrassing. But it was not embarrassing. It was so nice.
I go back to the same message. Like, we can do hard things.
We can do hard things.
If that is hard for you, then maybe start by taking yourself out for one drink.
Yeah.
Or if it's, going for a coffee, or if it's going for a cocktail by yourself, and then you can work your way up to maybe like an appetizer, and then you leave, and then a full dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling coming back from the retreat, coming back from your solo travels?
Well, I was feeling a little bit of like anger and sadness, simply because like after my retreat, I met so many beautiful women, and it's just crazy to me that within our world, like there's strangers everywhere and you have no idea who you can connect with. And just to be at this retreat with a bunch of women who I connected so deeply with, I was like a little bit frustrated coming home, but I can see that like my energy is rising as I'm continuing on. The first day I struggled, but we were told that this was going to happen. After you get home from a retreat, like you do struggle.
You're probably on like this like decline, like energetic decline.
Yep.
Because you're operating at such a high frequency with the people that you're with.
Absolutely.
And the work that you're doing. Was it a wellness retreat? Was it more spiritual?
So it was like, it was spiritual wellness. So we did breath work, and then we did yoga, and then we did somatic healing. So once we got there, they sat us around a circle, and they had like this divine feminine book, and you had to pick a card off the table. So I went and picked one. And then I had to go sit in a chair and then read it. And
share it with the group?
Share it with the group, and then relate how like I relate to it, or say how I relate to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was, and I was just sitting there. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm going to do this.
Were you uncomfortable?
So uncomfortable.
Okay, and how do you feel when you are in uncomfortable situations?
How do I feel?
Other than you feel uncomfortable. Like, do you practice self-talk? Do you try to like reframe it? Like, no, this is a growth moment. I got this.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like trying not to be negative. Like, instead of being like, oh my God, you have so much anxiety right now. Are your hands sweating? Like, are you okay?
Yeah. What is happening in my body right now?
Do you need to do jumping jacks? But no, I was uncomfortable, but then I just realized that like this is a part of the process. And after I did it, I was like, I want to do more of this. Like, this is like empowering. And I felt confident doing it. And I prefaced it by actually saying, like, I walked in and there was like a lot of different girlies and some that I initially connected with and some that I didn't initially connect with. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my hair like this. So initially it's like, this girl thinks that she's like this shit.
Okay.
And I started it and I was like, hey guys, like I just want to preface this by saying that you might look at me and think that I'm super confident, but I still struggle with my confidence. And then I just talked about my journey, my healing journey and everything.
Mm.
And I just connected like deeply with the girls that I didn't think I was going to connect with. And it was so cool. And it just took us all to open up.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there are things that you took from the group, from the overall retreat experience that you want to apply to, you know, not only your life, but more so like your community and business?
I think that like doing retreats is something that I would love to do.
A Fit by Chloe retreat?
Would be so cool.
Is that on the vision board?
It's on the vision board.
Has it always been? Or is it like a new addition?
It's always been there.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many more questions. I can't wait to ask you like offline about that, like timeline, location.
Yeah. So I like to keep things kind of like low key before it happens, just simply because outside energy kind of throws it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's my vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel, these are like rapid fire questions about the retreat. Do you feel super inspired coming back?
Oh my God. Yeah. So inspired. So inspired. So the one girl that I really looked up to, her name's Emily Duncan.
Okay.
And I listened to her podcast. And she just like, I followed her for years and she's like a bit of, well, she's fitness, but she's also fashion.
Ooh.
And that's what I love. Like I love fashion, but at the same time, like I'm not going to go spend a bunch of money on fashion. Like I'm just like more low key about it, but I love looking good. I love looking like put together. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just really inspired by her. And when I actually connected with her, we were so similar. It was like we were best friends. So that was really cool. And then Laura was the other host. And initially I didn't think that I was going to connect with her. And oh my God, we connected so much. Like she has like the sweetest soul and it was so wholesome. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's what's so magnetic about events. Again, if you set yourself up energetically to go in and ready to be open for connection and being a good listener. I think there's almost like an etiquette that you could think about to how you approach retreats and events and what the energy is that you give off. Like if you are someone who energetically is open for connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very open for connection. I went into that like very open.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
And I think Matt and I were just talking about this again in an earlier episode, that someone that we heard, his name's Jeff Fenster. He's an like extremely successful and inspiring entrepreneur. And we heard him say this at an event earlier this year about withdrawals and deposits when it comes to like relationships, energy. I think you could use that notion of like deposits and withdrawals in so many things, but certainly with relationships and energy in this conversation is, are you depositing positive energy into the people that you are meeting and expanding with and avoiding, those energy suckers, which I think in a space like a retreat or an event, everyone typically is of the same.
Yeah, there was no
very aligned.
Yeah, everybody was very aligned, but I totally know what you're saying. And I understand my energy so well now. Once I didn't understand it, but I'm very in tune with that now. And like getting back from the retreat, remember how I wrote you and I was like, I need to sign up at your gym. Like I need that high energy. Like I need to keep that going because that's when I feel my best self. And that's when I really forget about my like time essentially. And when you forget about time, like you're doing something that you absolutely love. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing a lot of some of the podcasts that I've listened to recently talk about environment. And I think, gym is a huge one, which is something that we are so passionate about creating at Benchmark, is an environment that is inspiring and motivated for people from their fitness standpoint, but also the conversations you're going to have and how that even translates outside of the Benchmark walls. But I even think like your environment where you live or your workspace at home, you know, is your office really cluttered or is it really tidy? Do you have a beautiful candle that you burn or a playlist that you love?
It makes such a difference. It really does. Like if my house, like I'm always like, Morgan, we need to keep this like clutter free because we're in a condo and it's really small.
And you both work from home.
We both work from home. Yeah.
And your partner is a big man.
A big,
there's a
big,
lot of muscle on Morgan.
Yeah. A big boy. So yeah, it's challenging. I will say that. So sometimes I go to little coffee shops and stuff. But
Change your environment.
Yeah, changing my environment. But like we both send voice memos a lot, and it's a small space, so it's really difficult to both do that.
When it comes to seeking inspiration, and you know, changing your environment's one thing, but just feeling inspired, where or what are things that inspire you?
Nature. I love being out in nature. I always feel more clear, and like when I'm like in a creative rut, if I go outside and just go walk, like, and that's something that I did a lot in Newfoundland. Obviously the nature is different here, but at the same time, like I still use that. Inspiration. I love listening to podcasts, and a lot of times if I'm like struggling with something, I'll actually talk to Morgan and he will like walk me through things and like my perspective and how I'm viewing things. And I get a lot of inspiration from him as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sort of seeking inspiration from your relationships and people around you. Okay. I also need to know what's on your joy list.
My joy list?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, I have so many.
Let's hear it. Things that bring you joy.
Things that bring me joy. So I love music festivals. They're so fun. I love being surrounded by a bunch of people, and I love strangers. It's so weird. I love being around strangers. It's so weird. What else brings me joy? My family brings me joy. My dog. I have a micro-American bully named Gus, and he's my best little friend, but he's crazy.
So cute.
What else brings me joy? Books, community. I really like chips. But I don't eat them all the time.
What's your favorite?
Bowl barbecue Doritos.
Okay, well that was a dialed in answer. Oh my gosh. Okay. Note to self: bold barbecue Doritos.
Have you never had them?
No, I'm not a chip girl.
What?
I know.
You like pastries or something?
I'm weird with sweets. I do like ice cream, and we have the Ninja Creamy now. Actually, Matt loves so many of your recipes. I don't know if you guys like are going back and forth with good recipes. That was like the best gift I swear I've ever got him. I'm more like I like a dark chocolate.
Okay.
But I also love popcorn, like homemade popcorn, olive oil, salt, Parmesan cheese.
Really?
Oh God, I could have that. Like Matt's the cook in our house. So if he goes out for a guy's night and I'm home by myself for dinner, popcorn.
That's what you're going to have?
It's classic. It's like textbook alley.
You're going to put cheese on it too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've never had that.
Come for dinner sometime. I would love to have you for dinner and I'll make you popcorn. It pairs great with red wine, rosé, white, sparkling water as well. But the first three options, the pairing notes are a bit different.
Love that.
I've had a mutual friend of ours over for dinner once, and I was like, we're going to have popcorn. That's what I'm making us.
I love
You can either share the bowl, or I can make us hers and hers.
Yeah.
Whatever you prefer. But yeah, my taste buds and sweet treats and chips are weird. Okay, need to circle back to, we talked about morning routine. I also would like to know nighttime routine. How do you wind down from the day?
Yeah, so I try to get off my phone at like a decent time, like 9 p.m. It doesn't always happen, and that's the reality of being an entrepreneur. I think that I would love to have like a solid nighttime routine that's very consistent, but it's not always consistent. And, you know, I can say that because that's my reality. I'm naturally like a night owl, but I don't go to bed late simply because I need to get up early, and I love getting up early, and my morning routine is everything to me. But I do my skincare routine, and I hang out with my boyfriend and my doggy, and we have our last meals together, and we watch a movie, and then I go to bed.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what about your workout routine? Someone that is in the industry.
Yeah.
What does your workout plan currently look like?
So I have 3 leg days. So yeah.
God bless you.
And 1 upper body day. So when I first started training so long ago, I trained my upper body first for 2 years before I even trained my lower body, because my thought process was, this was before I had any knowledge, my thought process was that my legs were going to grow because if I started training them, but that's not the case. They would have just got stronger and leaner. Anyways, I was 2 years ahead of it with my upper body training. So now, just to maintain my muscle, I just do upper body once a week. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks. But yeah, that, and I do abs 3 times a week. I have scoliosis, so I have to do ab training very consistently. Sometimes I'll do yoga on Sundays, and sometimes I'll go for a run.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about recovery? What do you do from a recovery standpoint?
Well, not a whole lot.
Okay.
I do like before I go into any of my workouts, I'll do like a warm up. But aside from that, I'll go in the sauna.
Yeah.
And I swim sometimes, and I get in the hot tub. But I don't have like a consistent routine when it comes to recovery.
Love that. Area of opportunity, growth opportunity.
Absolutely.
And as we're nearing the end of our interview, this amazing conversation, I do have some great rapid fire questions that we're going to get to in a moment. But understanding that you've had a journey.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has been like self-love and healing, but also met with grit and grief and resilience. What would be some pieces of advice, whatever comes to mind, if you wanted to share this with all of our listeners in terms of setting yourself up for living your dream?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I might have said this already, but it is something that's very powerful. But what you feed grows. And it is so true, because when you are constantly focused on the negative, like that is how you perceive things. And it is so hard to advance because your perspective is so small and you're just focused on the negative. Whereas if you can really shift your perspective and really try to be more positive, you can really achieve whatever you want. And that's the reality of it. I think that the mind is so powerful, and it's something that I didn't realize as much before. Like I realized it to some degree, but now that I've actually like manifested things, and I've actually like, my negative headspace is barely ever, like my intrusive thoughts like are very limited now. So I think that, your mindset is everything. It's very powerful.
I love that you said that, because I'm super obsessed with that as well. And I think I'm actually rather obsessed with just being like the best version of myself always.
Yeah.
And truly believing that you can always grow and improve. But it takes work.
It takes work.
Like it's not just going to happen. You have to make the intentional choice. And so often you have to make intentional investments. And then you have to be intentional with the energy. So there's a lot of intention behind it.
Absolutely.
But that we are all in the driver's seat of our lives, and that we have the power to create change for ourselves.
Absolutely. It requires a lot of work. It really does. Like, I mean, I knew that I wanted to be successful at a young age, but I was very confused about what I wanted to do. So I went through several different programs, and through every single program, I used to look at that as a failure. And now that I'm where I am in my journey, I realize that everything that I went through is just a redirection to my path and my purpose. So, yeah.
And speaking of purpose, what's next for Fit by Chloe?
So, I'm not going to share too many details just because,
we know there's a retreat coming sometime.
Well, I'm going to be working on a mentorship program.
Oh my God. I know. That's so exciting.
I know. I'm really excited about it, but I'm not putting like a time frame on it or anything, because obviously I'm by myself and I still have to work, but I'm working very hard behind the scenes.
Oh, I love that.
I'm just, doing these kind of things to kind of put myself out there.
I love that so much.
I know you do.
Oh, that's great. That makes me so happy. Genuine. I'm like, so excited. Okay, a couple rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Date night in or out?
In.
It's the dog, isn't it? That's always my answer.
The dog and the DoorDash and just going to bed right after. Yes. And not having to get ready.
Okay, I think you kind of answered this one already, but what book are you currently reading? What books? Plural. The Awakening.
The Awakening. Let's just.
Okay.
Yeah. And Welcome Home.
And Welcome Home.
Yeah.
What are your favorite podcasts?
Embody Radio. Jay Shetty, On Purpose, and Mel Robbins.
Love that. Have you read Let Them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a sidebar rapid fire question. Yeah. And what's something that you're currently manifesting?
An assistant coach.
All right. Yes, you did say that. Do you have a manifestation practice?
Nope.
Just something that you incorporate maybe into your journaling?
It's in my journaling and it's on my vision board, and I look at my vision board and say it out loud every single day.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. And 3 gratitudes. What are 3 things that you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for my past struggles because they've gotten me to where I am now. I'm grateful for the women in my life, the women that allow me to lead, the women that allow me to have space, and the women that push me to grow.
I love that. I'm so proud of you.
No, thank you. And then on top of that, family, like my dog and my parents and my boyfriend.
Amazing. Now, I feel like you're going to be really popular. So where can people find you?
Oh, they can follow me on Instagram,
Okay.
Chloe Blakeburn, or Fit by Chloe Coaching. I don't post as much on that one. That's just like my transformations and stuff. But my main page is Chloe Blakeburn.
Love that. And then we'll obviously drop all of this in the show notes so you guys can go over and give Chloe a follow and connect with her there. She's got really amazing content, and it's been, again, such a beautiful journey to watch you and just know you in like less than a year.
Aww.
I'm so grateful to have had you here, your beautiful energy, and for everything that you shared, and understanding that some of that was really vulnerable. So
very hard.
I appreciate you opening up and sharing that with everyone. And I really hope that it resonated. And I'm sure that even Chloe's vulnerable stories that she shared has deeply connected with at least one of you.
Mm-hmm.
So go over to Instagram, give her a follow, check her out. And Chloe, I'm so grateful to have had you here today.
Thank you for having me. It's been amazing.
Thank you for being here. And everyone listening, thank you, or watching on YouTube, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Inspire and Move podcast community. If you loved this episode, maybe you want to share it with a friend, or would love to leave a little 5-star rating or review. And forever and always, I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much, and we will see you again soon. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.